Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive. And if you're joining me for the first time, welcome. This is where we really get down and talk about the underlying causes of emotional eating. So if you struggle with food and weight in any way, shape, or form, I've been there. I get it. I was 50 pounds overweight and I hated my body. I hated my habits. I was so angry at myself for always eating the crap when I knew better. I knew better, but I would do it anyway. So frustrating. So if you relate to that, you are so in the right place. And I invite you to join us in the Secret Sauce group. This is a group on Facebook that's just for us, we emotional eaters who get what it's like to be powerless over a cookie. Go there, sign up to join us. It's free. You just type in Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating and you'll be in, okay? And that's where you'll get the latest hot off the press information about Heal Your Hunger and how to really up-level your relationship with food, because it's time, right? It's time. So love to have you there. Also, if you're not sure if you're an emotional eater, you're like, I'm not sure about that. I know I struggle, but what's that about? Go to the website, healyourhunger.com, my website, and take the quiz and find out if you're an emotional eater or a food addict or somewhere in between, okay? And that is a free quiz as well. And then you'll not only get, learn where you are specifically on that spectrum, but also what you can do about it. So you can start to heal and start really loving your food, loving your body, and loving your life without diets or exercise plans, okay? I mean it. That's the only way to go. So on to my amazing guest. Rachel Varga is a board-certified aesthetic nurse, nurse specialist. She's been a nurse specialist since 2011, and she's done over 17,000 procedures, okay? Rachel loves educating others on the best rejuvenation and proactive aging methods, including skincare, skin and laser rejuvenation, and other non-surgical approaches. So to really having the best skin ever. Rachel, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Tricia. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so good to have you. And you're such a vision. You're just absolutely gorgeous, and you are, walking your talk. And I loved meeting you recently and really learning about what you do, because I know all people, women especially, want to look their best, and women who struggle with food and weight haven't, we've not always looked our best. We've, when we eat crappy food, sugar and carbs and, chemicals that are in the foods, especially at 7-Eleven, where I used to often go to binge, or I didn't binge there. I got the food and went and binged in my car. But, when we eat crap, it shows up on our face. And that was usually the first place I would see it. My face would, first of all, from the sugar, would just blow up like a balloon. But then I'd get zits and I just would have a bad complexion. And it was so yucky because you can't hide that. Not only can you not hide the fat, but you can't hide what you're doing to your body. When you put crap in, it shows on your face. And I just love what you do, and you do it in such a natural, holistic way. So thanks for all you do, and thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Yeah, super sweet. So let's talk about this. First of all, how did you get into this line of work?
Well, straight out of nursing school, I realized I wasn't quite done with my education, and I actually looked into becoming a medical doctor myself. So then I went through the motions of getting all my medical school prereqs, Gen Chem, Organic Chem, Biochem. That's why I'm such a nerd, because I love pulling on the physical sciences. That's what skincare is. It's basically chemistry, right? And then how it integrates into the skin, and same with what we eat. It's all biochemistry. And I had a few procedures myself, and I thought, you know what? I think I'd be pretty good at this. I feel like I have a good eye. My father's a carpenter, so he taught me from a young age, if there was, something not quite in balance, then, maybe we should fix that. So I really felt that when I had my first rejuvenation procedure, it was a skin and laser treatment. I thought I could have had a little bit better education in regards to the assessment and how to best look after myself afterwards as well, like the pre-post care. And so during the time I was taking my med school prereqs, I was also working as a pediatric ICU nurse. And then I just kind of fell into the world of aesthetics and medical rejuvenation, cosmetic dermatology, anti-aging, all of that. I don't use the word anti-aging. I love to use the word proactive aging. And it's just a great way to serve my community and men and women all over the world, because let's face it, everybody wants to take care of their body, and you work with women that want to get the body that they want and that they deserve. And then I just help people understand great skin options, right? With good skincare and rejuvenation.
That's awesome. Well, you've clearly 17,000 procedures. That's crazy. And you're so young. So that's super cool. So we talked before we got started here, we talked about really where we wanted to go with this show. And you were brilliant in talking about decluttering your skin treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so good, because I know for myself, I don't want to spend a ton of money on skin treatments. Like I'm pretty holistic. I use natural products, and I live in LA, where people are they are all injected all over the place, and it really is scary to me. And so I want to be sane. I want to look young, of course. I want to always look my best, but I also want to do it in a smart way, and I don't want to spend a bunch of money. So I love that you talked about like stopping overspending, because overeaters are overspenders as well. We tend to, not only get out of control of food, but sometimes out of control with our expenses and our spending habits. So I love that we're going to talk about, this, and you help women simplify their skin regime. And we have to have some kind of skin regime. Like, we've got to pay attention to the largest organ on our body. And so what do you recommend for women so they have balance around their skin treatment?
Yeah, perfect. I love how you said all of that. So let's help you figure out how to not binge eat and not binge buy, because a lot of these beauty companies and ads you'll see on Facebook in particular, they sort of prey on, women's fears and things like that. So when you see things like it's green or it's all natural, those are actually marketing ploys, because I just have to drop this. Because when people say I follow an all natural skincare, it's chemical free. Well, I challenge you, when you find a product, when you're looking for a household item, your food, or a beauty product, look on the back, because chances are the first ingredient is going to be water. Water is a chemical, air is a chemical. Chemical isn't a word to be afraid of. I just love sharing that so that people can become smarter consumers. And in regards to keeping it simple, you do not need an 8-step beauty routine. I don't know about you, but I don't have time for that.
Right.
So what I've really found is, working for nearly a decade with thousands of patients in the clinic and also online, no matter where you are, I can still help you out. There's a few common threads. So obviously, people that follow a really healthy diet, primarily plant-based, not necessarily vegan, having a really great physical exercise routine, having a meditation or spiritual practice, body, mind, spirit, that stuff is just as important as what you're eating and putting on your skin. Just a sidebar.
Amen. You're singing my song, my friend. Absolutely.
Yeah. But keep it basic with four steps. And a lot of times women say, oh, I have sensitive skin. Well, the skin is sensitive because it's not used to active ingredients. It's like when you switch up your diet and you start to cut out all the carbs and all the stuff, you can almost have a little bit of withdrawal, right? Or sugar. So when women start with just a basic routine, in about 2 weeks, you can start to see less sensitivity, less diffuse redness across the cheeks and the nose, which is often confused as rosacea. And there is a study done on men and women that didn't wash their face for about a month. And what happened is they developed red blotchy skin. So starting with cleansing the skin morning and night with a cleanser that's pH balanced for the skin. Know your body wash or water isn't going to be enough, because you need to get off the dirt, oil, debris, and pollution of the day. And then feeding your skin with a moisturizer. So it's kind of like taking a multivitamin internally. Your moisturizer should have things like vitamin C, E, hyaluronic acid, peptides, a little bit of sprinkling of all that good stuff in there in one really easy to use product that's backed by research and proven to be safe and cause things like great cell signaling to promote collagen. And you usually can get away with one moisturizer for your face, neck, chest, and your eyes if you just find the right one. So right off the bat, you don't need a separate day cream, night cream, or eye cream. Just find one that kind of does it all. You don't need to spend a fortune. A good cleanser can be like $50 Canadian price, I'm Canadian. Moisturizer anywhere from about 50 to 90. A good mineral-based sunscreen is step 3, so not using a chemical filter, which is avobenzone, oxybenzone. Countries like Australia and places like Hawaii are already banning them because they kill our coral reefs. They also mess with the hormones. So zinc and titanium dioxide-based sunscreens are hands down. You should be using a sunscreen every single day. After you ideally get your 15 minutes of sunshine, there's some beautiful sunshine out here every morning to get your vitamin D, and then gently exfoliating the skin. So not using like a sugar, a rice, or a salt scrub, or like that dreaded St. Ives apricot scrub that actually the granules in that, they're gritty and sharp and jagged in nature, and they can actually cause little micro tears in the skin, making the skin more sensitive. So using a product that isn't like a plastic bead type product, but a spherical magnesium particle to polish the skin. What you do every single day with your skincare is actually more important than getting rejuvenation procedures. But the hardest part is finding what's actually right for your skin type. So working with a skin expert to help you understand what your needs are and guide you in the right direction will be so much more valuable than just showing up at a beauty counter and having a salesperson say, oh yeah, this one's on sale, or this one says on the back of the bottle it will do this and this. What matters is the science and what is helping tons of other people too.
So that's what you do virtually for people, is you do skin consultations.
Yes, I work in a clinic as well, and it's an oculoplastic surgery office. And then I also meet with people online all over the world, because I thought, why are the lovely people in my community getting access to this info? Everybody needs to learn this. So that's why I'm here to help.
That's awesome. So you talked about a cleanser. You talked about a moisturizer, the sunscreen, and the exfoliation.
That's right.
Okay. And you said sugar's too harsh. Obviously, apricot kernels are too harsh. What's not too harsh?
Like spherical magnesium particles are really nice because it can just sort of polish the skin. And if you've ever heard of a Hydra Facial rejuvenation treatment,
I've had one. I've had a Hydra. I love that.
Yeah, they're great. I call a really good scrub I work with actually like a Hydra Facial in a jar.
So talk about what a Hydra Facial is, because I know I rarely have I get anything done, but that's one thing I have had done.
Yeah, so this is a perfect segue into talking about procedures.
Okay.
And I caution women about trying to seek out these non-invasive rejuvenation treatments in an effort to, do skin tightening and lifting and reduce deep wrinkles. But what these skin boosting treatments can do is actually just feed and nourish the skin in a really beautiful way.
Okay. So what did I get when I think what I had was a Hydra Facial. I'll tell you what I had and you tell me. So it was like it's like water and it sucks. It sort of it felt like it was vacuuming my skin. And then I saw a whole bunch of blackheads and grossness, but it made my skin so great for about 6 months. I'm really due for another one.
Yeah. The Hydra Facials, I think, are a staple for pretty much everybody. I do like it when people prep their skin ahead of time using those 4 key basics that I talked about: cleanse, moisturize, sunscreen, scrub, so that you're not as sensitive to the treatment itself, because there's a very gentle glycolic acid chemical peel, about a 7.5% up to 14%. Don't be scared of the word glycolic acid chemical peel. These treatments are not going to make you look like Samantha from Sex and the City. You'll actually look just fine afterwards, maybe just a little bit glassy or dewy, but they're basically a glorified wet back for the skin. And they are the bee's knees for just like a non-invasive little change of season pick-me-up that's way better than the old school microdermabrasions. They're very different.
Oh God. I'm so glad to hear that, because that's the only thing I've done in the past year. Is I think I've done a couple of those, and they're just, as I said, I'm due for another one, but it feels so good to get your skin vacuumed.
Does it ever? I think I might do one after my work day today, actually.
So how does but what was the glycolic part of it? Like, that's a peel. Did I do a peel also?
It's actually built into it. So there's
Okay.
an initial cleansing pass that's done. So it's this really neat little handheld device that's sort of glided across the skin. You also get some really nice lymphatic drainage with it. So the first step is a cleansing step. And then the second step is the infusion of the glycolic acid chemical peel And why I like the peel in this one is because it's really gentle and pretty well all skin types can tolerate it. And it's a good starter treatment. And then you get the extractions done after that. So the vacuum's kind of kicked up a notch, and then go over the nose and any areas of congestion. And then you get a peptide infusion afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. You sold. Got it. So, but I do have friends who do different things, and I'm scared of a lot of different things. What are things people are doing that are not good?
Things that people are doing that are not good. I might get some flack for saying this.
That's okay.
But some things that I see people wasting money on are lazy lasers.
Lazy lasers. Okay.
Yeah, lazy lasers. And this is a thing. I haven't heard anybody else really call it this, but in the clinic, when we were thinking about upgrading some of our technologies, because I work with, $140,000 pieces of equipment, to, for instance, IPL, it treats redness, brown spots, rosacea. It's like a photo facial. Those are awesome. And then resurfacing laser. But I got my hands on some of these other devices that claim to skin tighten or lift, and they just don't really work. And so what matters is, when you're thinking about getting treatments, is to go somewhere where there's physicians and there's nurses, because you'll get access to better devices. So as opposed to, say, going on Groupon or, just trying to find a sale in your area might not be the best thing. Be more discerning, work with the health professionals to make sure you're getting medical grade devices and not, for example, some counterfeit laser that came from China that's like a $20,000 machine that could actually be harmful.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what about those infrared wands? I did buy one of those. What about those?
It really depends on the device itself. There's so many good red light therapy devices out there. If you do a little bit of research, you can see what some of the biggest health influencers are talking about, because there is some great tech out there. I actually was thinking, I was driving this morning, I'm like, I really want to get a nice panel for myself and set it up in my bathroom, because red light therapy is awesome for collagen, stimulating your mitochondria, but it just simply depends on the tech and the wavelength of the light therapy, because it has to be at a specific nanometer to get the right penetration and get the right therapeutic effect.
Okay.
So when you're looking at getting these devices, get them from reputable sources. Don't just find something that's in like a Facebook ad or on Amazon. I don't actually recommend getting any skincare product. This is really important. Don't get any skincare product or device off Amazon or eBay, because if you haven't seen that Netflix show called Broken, the cosmeceutical beauty counterfeit industry is more lucrative than the drug industry right now.
Whoa.
It's a huge public safety issue. So get them from the manufacturers themselves or from other reputable sources that are, if you check with the manufacturer, if they are a legitimate distributor, like I am for about 10 different skincare and product brands.
Okay.
So I work one-on-one with them.
Okay. That's a great warning. Thank you for that. And then regarding the exfoliation, I've heard that you shouldn't exfoliate too often, like not daily. Is that true?
It depends. There are some physicians out there that work with darker skin types and have really effective protocols for melasma, and they call for exfoliation every day. So you can either get exfoliation through your cleanser, through the glycolic acid, which is a chemical exfoliant, or, which I love to do every day, morning and night. And then you can do a mechanical scrub, like buffing the skin, which you could do 2 to 5 times a week. That's a great method.
Oh, cool. Well, gosh, I can now see why it's really important to have a skin consultant, so that you aren't doing stuff that's wrong for your skin. Because our faces, this is like, it's such a precious thing. Our faces, it's like we only have one of them, and we have them the whole time in our lives. So it's really important.
I gotta say something here. Whatever you do to the face, you got to do to the neck and the chest and the top.
Oh, great point. I was going to comment on that earlier. I love that you mentioned the chest, because somebody taught me that early on, and I forget what you call it, décolleté. And I've always have, like, for at least 10 or 15 years, I've moisturized this part of me as well. And I'm like, every time I do it, I think, oh, I'm so glad Lori taught me about that, because I notice in women, they do forget that. And it's like, it's like you have 2 different skin types going on.
Yeah, I call it floating head syndrome. It's not a great look.
Floating head syndrome. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, so that's great to mention. So always when you're moisturizing your face, go right down your neck onto your décolleté.
With your cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, and exfoliant, and even before you get dressed.
Okay, yes. Yeah, because like sometimes I'll have a turtleneck on, I'll be putting moisturizer, I'm like, wait, I can't get down there.
Yeah. And then with skin ingredients, I just want to drop this quickly. We've heard about hyaluronic acid. Well, some of you might not know that there's different actual molecular sizes to the HA molecule.
Okay.
And some of them are actually too big that they can't even infiltrate the skin cell. And some of them are just the right size that they'll slip into the skin cell and help with hydration. So when it comes to figuring out products, research is king. Work with brands that do research on their final formulation and make claims on the final formula, not just making claims on the specific ingredients. So working with some of these medical brands that have a bigger budget to do that is great. But then you also have these conglomerates that focus on marketing. So become more discerning with what you use.
Love that. Don't get sucked in by fancy schmancy marketing.
Yep.
Cool. Look, this has been amazing, Rachel. You are such a source of wonderful information, and you, of course, are walking, talking, beautiful example of what you preach. So
I do my best, but we're always learning. Our bodies are always changing and evolving. Our routines, what we eat, what we do, our practices have to as well.
Amen. That's so sweet. So, since this is the Heal Your Hunger show, I love to ask my guests, what are you really hungry for?
I am hungry to get back on my somewhat modified paleo routine that I was doing. Late last year, I met with a dietitian and she told me to not have dairy, not have grains. So I was doing a lot of roasted vegetables like squashes, Brussels sprouts, some salmon, and I felt really, really good. And that was really easy for me to stay sort of bloat-free and trim. And so that's what I want to get back into. I'm hungry for doing a really nice roasted vegetable dinner tonight.
Oh, I love it. That's so beautiful and so practical. I love it. That was very grounded. That's perfect. And how beautiful that you had that experience from the paleo diet. I've heard that over and over again. It certainly, has been my experience, although right now I don't eat meat except fish, but definitely the paleo way of doing things is super healthy for so many people.
Yeah. It worked for me. So just what works for you.
Yeah.
Too, right? It's different for everybody.
We all have the divine physician within that knows exactly what we need. So God bless you. Well, it's so wonderful to have you on the show. Thanks so much, Rachel. And everybody, Rachel's offering a super cool thing, which is a discount code. We're going to put this in the show notes where you can get 20% off of anything on her website. And her website is rachelvarga.ca. So you can, again, find that link on the internet on our site at healyourhunger.com on the show notes for this show. And the coupon code is Tricia Nelson 20. And then not only do you get that discount, but you actually have a freebie you're offering, Rachel.
Yeah, it's basically a daytime planner for rejuvenation treatments. And there's some guides for pre and post treatment tips as well. So I just had to create it because my patients kept asking me, how do I organize my treatments? What do I get when? How much are they going to cost? How long do they take? I got a busy schedule. I got places to be. So I just made it easy. So it's my treatment planning guide.
I love that. So you can pick that up at rachelvarga.ca. Thank you, Rachel, so much. Great to have you, and many blessings to you in this new year.
You as well.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.